Good morning, everyone. Good morning from my car. Normally my videos are not vertical. However, the only reason that it is because it's on my steering wheel right now. I'm out of my car. I'm a mom of 3. All my kids are sleeping. It's 7 in the morning. And I was just called to share this very simple message. So here we go. I'm just gonna jump in. Anybody who is a subscriber on my channel knows that for a hot minute, for 2 weeks, I was doing a mom chat, and it just felt like I was pushing it, and that's just not something that I'm willing to subscribe to in my life. I'm not going to push something. So when things come naturally, that is when I will share them. So this morning in my meditation, I wake up at 6 in the morning, wait for the coffee to be ready, and I hydrate. And I sit cross-legged in a chair and I do a little meditation, and this just came out, and so I'm just gonna trust that it needs to be shared for someone who's gonna cross paths with me on this channel. So with my morning energy and my coffee, I'm gonna just share. I wrote everything down on my book, so I'm gonna be going back and forth to that because I get so sidetracked. So today, or right now, I'm going to be just talking about how did I come to this way of slow living? Like, how did I come to slow living? How did this happen? And because it has not always been, I've not always been this person. I remember my entire early 20s, everyone in my family would tell me literally, like, you need to slow down, like, just chill out, like, slow down. My grandma, I can hear her saying it, slow down, Emily, slow down. So how did I come to slow living? By rushing. Literally, I came to this lifestyle by doing the opposite. Basically, since I was 5 years old, and all of us, we wake up, we rush to get ready, we catch the bus or take a ride with our parents, we get to school, we rush to get all our work done. Not so much in kindergarten, but kind of, like, you have to stay focused as a 5-year-old. And, rush to get it done while the other kids are, there's an animal there. I live in the woods and there's an animal, so I'm like peeping. Catch blah, blah, blah. You rush to keep up in line with the other kids. You're rushing to get back on the bus, to get back home. You're rushing to, wrap up the evening, have dinner, get ready for bed. Flash forward to 13 years, and you're kind of doing that the length of school, not to mention like rushing around to get to sports and things like that. 13 years later, you're in an even bigger rush, right? With all sorts of questions from all sorts of people. Where are you gonna go to college? What are you gonna study? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? So now not only are you physically rushing, but your brain is rushing, and that's called anxiety, and you're on edge, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Like, am I supposed to know this? I want to get online and look up what other people are doing. I've only been exposed to like a tiny little fragment of the people that I'm going to meet in this life. So I have no idea what I really want to do. And I'm not going to find that out until like 30 or 40, but everyone's going to ask you at like 17. Which I think we should stop doing that. I think we should collectively stop asking teenagers what they want to do. I get they have to have a plan, but there's a certain flow in life. Anyways, coming back. And then you're rushing around to find an answer for that with high amounts of stress before your junior year so that you can start to rush and take action. So rush, 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 rush. Then you rush through your college life. I was juggling a job and then losing a job and getting a job, and juggling all of these new emotions and the freedom of being on your own for the first time and rushing through that. And then I had a baby at 21 when I was still in college. I didn't quit college. I continued to go to college, have a job. I was pregnant, and then I had a newborn, and I was rushing to go to work and go to college and get my stuff done, blah, 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 blah. Made it work. But what I noticed is when I had my baby, I wanted to slow down during the day. So I took a bartending job at night. I was rushing to get to that, but during my days, they were very chill. and then I would rush to get things done for school, but they were very chill. Okay. Rushing to be a good mom, became a business owner early in my 20s, 22 I think it was, and so then that's just a constant rush. Okay. 28, I was running about 4 businesses that I can think of, and I think I was running more. I ran so many businesses and tried out so many different companies, like mini companies. I had my main businesses, but I tried out other little things, up to like probably 20 different businesses, and I'm not even exaggerating. I was running a photography company, and then there's different facets of that. So I was doing weddings, boudoir, portraits, short films, which is video, I know, all sorts of different things. So those are different little pieces under the same business. I was running a thrift shop online, and I set up a brick and mortar. So I was rushing to get all the stuff there to fill it up. I started a side lingerie company where I was wholesaling lingerie pieces and creating a brand for them on an Instagram and through a website, and making money through that. I was running a vintage jewelry company on another Instagram account, and I was starting up more. I was starting up a graphic design company, and I'm like getting out of breath talking about this. I was so burnt out, and this is like at the height of it when I just had my second baby, and she was like 1, maybe 1.5, if that. I was not happy. I remember standing in the back of my thrift shop, just crying, just thinking, when am I working on my passions? Like, is this what I really wanted? Like, this seems cool, but is this my ego? Like, what is going on? This is not... When you're in your purpose and your path, this should feel seamless and beautiful. I was not happy at all. So one day, literally one day, I had like an emotional meltdown upstairs in my bedroom. And I just started writing. And I was just like, I'm not doing my passion that I've been doing since I was a little girl. Like, when am I going to make time for this? I can't keep adding things on. What am I even chasing? Like, why am I adding all of these different things into my life? What am I doing? And I decided to stop. I deleted, I closed out all orders, and I didn't just leave everybody hanging, but I closed out all orders. I just was honest and said, I'm currently closing my books. I am putting a hold on the brand, this, that, and the other. With all my companies, I had a pretty chill following, so everyone was more than understanding. So I deleted my at least 5 Instagram accounts. I deleted all other forms of my social media. I closed my businesses. I closed my books. I closed my businesses. I put everything to the side. I got rid of all of my bills, because most of them were associated with my businesses. And I just stopped. I just stopped. This, it may seem like it was, this breath of fresh air, which it was for like a second, but it really wasn't. When you unbusy yourself, you are only left with you. And you're built up of everything that you've ever experienced. The foods that you've been eating, the places you've been, things that you may have gone through that you might not even remember, or things that happened in your childhood that weren't a big deal in reality, but to you as a little kid, when it happened, it was traumatic. Like, you're left with all of that. And if you have been suppressing anything, which most of us do, I think, until we learn to not do that, it's still in there. If it's being suppressed, it's still in there. So I had a year of, if not more, I had a year of depressing feelings, confusion, rage, anger, feelings of anxiety, difficulty in my marriage, because I was like, is it him? You want to always point the finger. Like, I was happier before, I met him, and thank God I have such a supportive, like, rock of a partner that we really talked through it. And he is like 10 out of 10 was like, well, do you need a me day to figure things out? And so anyways, that's a whole tangent, but Um, so I was feeling all these emotions until something happened. I stopped ignoring my emotions and my thoughts because there was nothing to be busy with anymore. I didn't have social media to distract me. I didn't have business to distract me, work. Like, I'm gonna just go to the coffee shop and just work and forget everything. And for the first time ever, I had to move through. I couldn't go over it. I couldn't go under it. I couldn't go around it. I had to just go through everything. I remembered like a passion of mine that I've had since I was a child, all throughout grade school, as well as college, through college, after college. It got a little more serious, and then I had my first daughter, so I put it on the side, and then I indulged in it again between pregnancies, kind of thing. Music. It's like my biggest passion. I remember on the way to shoots as a photographer, I would just be singing and just picturing myself like creating music and art through music and this whole thing. And I'd never had time to just sit down and work on that craft and be alone and like better the craft because I was busy. Like, I can't do music. I have emails to tend to. I can't do music. I have editing. I can't do music. I have to go source for the thrift shop. I had time now for my passion. I also noticed how little time I was actually spending with my kids while working a business, on social media, or just anxiously in my head figuring out business things. I was on the road to not my best life. I was not living my best life. My diet took a turn for the worse because I wasn't in tune with myself or what was making me feel good. I just figured it was stress with business, and I was way over consuming in coffee. Oh my gosh, I was drinking like 5 cups in the morning all throughout the day while I was working, and then all throughout the night so I could stay up, and I had a fun job. I enjoyed my all of my businesses. They were beautiful. It's not like they were stressful and like in the stock market and okay. So in my opinion, we are all, and I heard someone else speak of this during my journey of slow living, and it just hit me. We're all keeping ourselves so busy with social media and Netflix and egos and the pressures of society. And this woman said it very specifically. She was like, you're keeping yourself busy being on Instagram, being a free influencer. Like, you're being a free influencer, marketing things for people, giving the app content. And it's like, what are you doing? You could be honing into a craft and working towards something that's purposeful for you, that you want to put out into the world, not just because it's trending. And, she went into a whole tangent, but I found that very powerful. So this for me was a massive shift. I indulged in the world of slow living for the first time in my life. Now, I was raised in the countryside. Like, we were bored kids, and we just always like hung out eating bread and like playing outside. Like, I guess as a child, and most children do, we slow live because we're just wondering and in the moment and just living our best lives. So I indulged in the world of slow living on YouTube. YouTube, in my opinion, is a much slower, intentional form of social media if you have boundaries with yourself. And I was watching ex-business owners, corporate women, parents of like 6 kids, all of these different kinds of people switching to a slower way of living. And I was just intrigued. I also stumbled across the world of minimalism, which kind of go hand in hand, which less stuff, no need to, go out and plan and busy yourself with buying more. Less stuff equals less constantly cleaning, etc., etc. And it had this crazy domino effect on my life. So here are actually some like legitimate concepts that I've adopted to make slow living work for me. An ex-business owner who is the mother of 3. Now, I'm just going to ask you, not all of these are going to resonate with you, and I understand that. So just take anything that works for you and just leave the rest. And that's all that I can say, because this is, of course, my life, and I've walked in different shoes than every single one of you guys watching. So just take what works for you and just leave what doesn't. And maybe some of the things will plant a seed to put you on a different path and a different journey. And that's beautiful. But if this video can help anyone kind of just slow down, it feels so good. And that is my only goal here. One thing I've done is I started homeschooling my children. Now this is like far out there because, you know, my daughter wanted to, and I planted the seed here and there, because there was always the rushing to the bus, the rushing to get ready, the rushing to wake up. Like, homeschooling, we just get to exist. We get to work on our schedule. There is nothing to rush to except for like play dates, but we don't rush. Extracurriculars, but we don't rush. We plan those around our schedule. It has been the biggest blessing of slow living, homeschooling. Number 2, we went down to a 1-income household. Now, I know this seems way far out there, and I never in my entire life thought I would ever be doing this with a partner. This is only if you're with someone that you can trust, that you're committed with. But if you are in that boat and you desire that way of living, it's more possible than you think. I thought that there was absolutely no way. And we did this while my husband was switching career paths from working for someone else's company to opening his own business. And we were still able to manage with not a lot of money. Now we are more comfortable than we've ever been, but we were not comfortable in the beginning. And I heard another mom who homeschools who wanted to do this. She said it was like an equation. It was like a formula. She said, sit down with your partner, go over all of the bills. Okay, go over all the bills, cut out what you really don't need, like all the subscriptions, all of this, all of that, and see what your budget actually is, and make that budget just work for one income. And this has to be something that you both agree on. This is like only for people who are really, you know, I probably should have put this last because this is not the full list. The other ones are things that anyone can do with any job or not homeschooling. But that's something that has helped me on my slow living, because now I don't have to balance in my business on top of the kids, on top of the homeschooling. I just get to exist with my kids, and I work around my kids. So this is not a must, because I still find time for my passion work around my children, which I could. If I was still running my business, I would still be able to work around my kids for the couple hours in the morning before they wake up, and the couple hours at night that I get my time when they go to sleep. Okay. Taking away any extra plans that I kind of wish didn't exist. Like if they just stopped existing tomorrow, if I would be like, oh my gosh, thank God, you know, like we don't have to go to dance tonight or something like that. Just taking away all those things that like my kids are dreading doing, I'm dreading going to. Why are you doing it? Taking away all those plans. Number 3. Number 4, we have used, and this is kind of just because I've been pregnant for the past year and now I'm freshly postpartum with a 3-month-old, Instacart. And not always, you don't have to do it all the time, but Instacart, oh my gosh. With 3 kids and I just had a baby, now I don't have to rush out the door to get the groceries because we need bread, and go in the grocery store and rush through all the aisles and remember what we're doing and rush before anyone has a freak out, any of the kids have a freak out, and rush through the line, and then be patient and like try to keep your kids sitting in the cart relaxed and chill. And then rushing back to the car so no one gets hit by a car, rushing home because the groceries have to go in the fridge, and then blah blah. And it's like, oh my gosh, by the time you get done with that you're like ready for a nap. So no shame at all. I started using Instacart, and at first I was like a little bit meh, but I see it as a community help out, like a tribe. Someone is like taking their time to go shopping for me, bringing the groceries to me so I can provide for my family. In exchange, I'm giving them money, and that's such a beautiful thing. And I'm always so grateful to the person who comes in, because in a tribe, like the mothers would be raising the kids, and there would be other people out, you know, gathering the food, and the men hunting the food and providing the buildings and the structures. I mean, this way of working as a tribe, it's so beautiful. And that's what I try to think of with our modern day conveniences. Okay, moving on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5. Literally just slowing down. Like, stop rushing and just slowing down my morning ritual, slowing down the way I speak, slowing down how quickly I walk. I used to be such a fast walker. I'm literally just like now I'm just like chill. Slowing down the day, like just slowing down physically. Next one, adopting minimalism. This goes hand in hand. Like I said before, there's no desire to like, oh, let's go to Target and get some stuff, because then I have to rush around the store, and then I have to get the thing that I don't need, and then I have to come home, and then I have to, you know, and then I have to clean it, and then I have to put it away because we bought it. And then there's so much stuff that I'm constantly cleaning, and then I don't have time to be slow because I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to go. Like, we have to be there in 20 minutes, and I've just been cleaning up this mess. Like, no. There's less stuff, and we are not the perfect minimalists yet. But we have a lot less stuff than we did this time last year, and it has slowed down my way of living and my mental clarity. It's slowed down in here so much, and I feel so at peace so that I can be okay with being slow. Next thing I did, no extra appointments. Like, no extra appointments like nails, hair, facials. I do a massage when I wasn't pregnant, so I'm getting back into that like once a month, because that is self-love and that is self-care, and that is being proactive with your health and your body. And because this is the only thing that I get to live in until the day I die, and I'm gonna take care of that. But all the other stuff, no random appointments, would just help me, because I don't have to like find where the kids are gonna go so I can go get my nails done. This will be my first fall winter not getting my nails done. I always get into the mood of like, I want to get my nails done and be all festive. This is my first time not doing it, and it feels so good. Being outdoors just slows you down, because nature doesn't rush. Next thing, not making any plans or to-do lists, like not a hard plan or to-do list, but just setting simple intentions that you can just kind of do on your own terms throughout the day. Next thing, there are 3 more, and then I'm going to wrap this video up because I am due to take my morning walk. Starting my day off slow and early. This is just a tip for moms, or if you have a job that you want to start off slower and then you get into your job flow. I get that. That's kind of where I was in the past. I would wake up so late, and then I would be rushing because I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasted half the day. Like, I have to get started on like my life. So if I wake up early, there is no need to rush because I'm already ahead of the game. I have a very slow and intentional morning routine, which is hydrate, meditate, journal if it feels right, or read, whichever feels correct that morning, or nothing. I take a slow nature walk, and then I work on my passion nice and slowly and intentionally. And it just starts my day off slow and steady. Being prepared has helped us so much, because instead of being at the park and then the baby poops and then we have to rush everybody back to the car, I already have everything. Or, oh my gosh, someone's hungry, we have to rush back and grab the snack out of the thing. Everyone's ready to go. Like, we just sit down, put a blanket down on the grass, and just eat a cheese stick, or change a diaper, or put another blanket on, or change an outfit. We're just ready to go. So as a parent, that has helped me slow down. And then I don't get hangry and want to rush back to the car for lunchtime because I have snacks. And then the last one, oh wait, I think there's 2 more. So this one and then 1 more, but it's a spiritual one. And then this video will be wrapped up. Leaving early. And I've talked about this in many of my videos, but we leave so early so that I usually drive slow to the place because we're so early. because we've left early. It's as simple as that. Just set your timer an hour before you need to leave, or 30 minutes or whatever. But with 3 kids, if I set my timer an hour, just slow and steady leave. If, my toddler is having a breakdown, I'm okay with that, and she can do that. And then if she wants to buckle herself in, it's not like, oh, give me that strap, like we need to go. I just breathe. I just let her do it, and then we go when she's done. No big deal, just leaving early. And then the final one that I want to wrap this up with, because this is kind of pushing it on my morning, but I just really felt a calling to share this. I've become more spiritual, and every single time I'm pregnant, I don't know if anyone else can resonate with this, but anytime I'm pregnant, I become so spiritual and so aligned with our higher self. So God, the universe, source energy, science, whatever you believe in, whatever you call it in your truth, in your world, I become so connected to that. And I think it's because when you're a woman and you're carrying life, you are working hand in hand with the Creator, making new life. And I think that there's just like an opening, just like this frequency that happens, and we're working together. Anyways, it becomes so spiritual with the birth of my last daughter, and it's not as intense as it was when I was pregnant and when I had just birthed her, but it's still there, and I'm trying to keep it and hone into it. So I've become more spiritual than ever, understanding that I am a human being. And I've talked about this in my videos. I'm a human being, not a human doing. There's probably a reason that we're called human beings, like a tree. I am incredible and doing so much by just literally sitting here existing. My organs are doing so many things. My brain is wiring out so many different neurons, and just so much going on. My eyes are doing so much work, just being able to see, as well as all of my other senses. My skin is a sponge, and it's doing so much work. My red blood cells are doing so many different things, keeping me healthy. It's so much work being alive. And we kind of live in a toxic world. And so our bodies are always under attack, and we're doing so many things. And if you add busyness onto that, and stress, hard foods to make digestion like terrible for yourself, your body's like doing way more work. And you're just doing so many things by just sitting there existing and breathing. You are like so powerful, and you came from something so grand and big and way bigger than you. And you're just incredible. And you're just sitting there thinking that you're not doing enough. You're doing everything that you need to do. So with that, I've just been indulging into, that deeper knowledge. I don't know what that says, but it's probably important. Oh, trust. Just trusting. Your purpose will come to you. Just trust whatever is happening. It's happening in its time. Just trusting. Your purpose will come. And when your purpose comes, the money will come. Self-love and self-care comes first, because this is the only thing that you get to live in. Like, you can spend all the money and stay busy on working on your house, but it could burn down. There could be a natural disaster. Like, anything could happen. Any circumstance could happen, but you will still have this thing, this skin thing that we live in. That's your only house. And it's doing so many incredible things, and you should be doing incredible things with it. But self-love, self-care comes first. And I practice this through just meditation and breathing. But anyways, before I go off on a tangent, because I'm coffeeed up, I'm gonna go take my morning walk before all of my children wake up and want their breakfast, so we continue to have a nice slow morning. If you want an example of a slow day in the life of a mother with 3 kids who homeschools, my channel is filled. We vlog every single day except for the weekends. And I hope that I stayed on track with this video and that someone got a little seed of inspiration or anything good from this video. I know I go off on a lot of tangents. My brain is like so creative and imaginative, and I could just take a conversation and just be talking to you guys all day. But I'm gonna wrap it up there, and I felt a calling to share this, and I'm happy that I did. I'm just gonna put it out very raw and unedited, and just how it came out, except for that one time that I coughed and was clearing my morning throat because it was disgusting, and you shouldn't have to experience that ever in your life. Okay, I'm gonna go. Have a beautiful day. I hope this video helped at least one of you. And until my next chat, I will see you guys in the vlogs. Also, really quickly, Addie and I are out on a morning hike, a slow morning hike. Just wanted to add this to the video before I forget. A final thought on rushing. Ask yourself, why are you rushing? Talking to the vlog. Literally, why are you rushing? Think about that and really answer it for yourself. For me, my answer was for nothing. I'm rushing to what, die? I'm rushing to what, get to the next day so I can rush again. Rushing through the present so I can get what to the future that might not even be what my anxiety is telling me to be, because monsters are always bigger inside of your head than you get to the moment and you're like, oh, this is not that bad. Nice. So what are you rushing for? To die? Stop rushing. You don't have to rush. You are worth so much more, and you are allowed nice. You're allowed to exist and fully be present and enjoy this absolutely beautiful experience. Okay. Finally, the end of that little rant.